Leslie Nielsen, the last time I saw you was around the pool at the Sheraton Universal doing interviews. I think you must have done about 50 that day.
That's when we were making the circuit, yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's nice to welcome you to our territory this time.
Thank you. Here we are all by ourselves. No
well,
pool around.
Yeah, not quite alone. But, of course, the big news out is that you are going to be Bracken.
Yes, apparently there's quite a campaign and a furor. I don't know how it happened, but it worked out that I'm doing it. But I understand that they had approached a number of very famous actors, far more famous than I. It's probably because they don't work as cheaply as I do that I got the part.
No, I think that I detect a bit of false modesty there, Leslie.
Oh, yes, you're quite right. It's false.
No, but was it quite a surprise to you for them to approach you?
It came as a surprise. When we had finished the bold ones and we knew that we were not going to continue, I was looking forward to, freelancing and so on. But I guess the only show around where this kind of thing could possibly happen, where I'd really resume as though I was going into a second year of production, full-fledged second year, was Bracken, in Bracken's world. And that kind of thing is very surprising and very pleasing.
Have you given any thought as to the kind of Bracken you will be?
No, I haven't really. The producer has, and I just like to listen to all the ideas that they have at the start. Then when I get the first script is when I'll really start to work. They are making him a man of the world. He heads the studio, or had headed the studio department in Europe, and he speaks several languages, none of which I speak, of course. And he's a cultured man, which I am not. He's a sophisticated man, and I'm a farm boy at heart. So I'm really wrong for the part, you understand. Anyway, I guess that's why they picked me.
No, but as far as doing the role, they have had certain guidelines or indications of the kind of man that he is in the episodes that we've been seeing. Have you been able to follow them at all?
I've only watched a few episodes, and I only saw one that involved the voice of Bracken. And I understand that he's been a pretty hard fella. And I wasn't exactly playing an easygoing fellow in the bold ones. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm doing the part. But you can't run a major successful business without having to drop the axe when it has to be dropped. So there has to be a streak of ruthlessness in him. He has to be a thoughtful, driving, energetic man. And we'll see how philosophical or bewildered or gentle we make him as we go on.
Of course, there's been a lot of speculation that he really is patterned after Dick Zanuck at 20th Century Fox. Do you know Dick Zanuck at all?
No, I've never met him. And I'm not too sure about that, because when we discussed the character, I said, well, who do you see? I asked the producer, who do you see as this man? Because I thought, well, if he has something in mind, I'll go and I'll spy on him. I'll peek over the fence when he's at the pool or something. And he named about 3 or 4 men as a, conglomeration. And Dick Zanuck he did not mention, no.
In your years around Hollywood, Leslie, if you were going to make a composite of the head of a film studio, what kind of a guy would he be?
Well, now, that's a good question.
You can tell folks we didn't rehearse this.
I give up. I really don't know. I think the most important thing is with Bracken is I want to make him a man of these times, the way I see these times, because after all, that's all I can show, my point of view. I mean, trying, of course, to do something within the vein that the writer is directing me to go in. And I deal myself as an actor in bewilderment. So whenever I find a man who is being precise and knows what he's doing, I like to find those areas where I can show him confused and bewildered, because to me, that's what our times are about. I feel that we're in limbo, and I'll show that limbo.
There will be some other cast changes in Bracken, too, or maybe I shouldn't say changes as much as deletions, from what we hear.
So I understand. One of the characters who are really functioning as a go-between between Bracken and the studio. Naturally, if I'm going to show up as a character, then there's no more need for him to be there, unfortunately. I hate to see an actor sort of lose his job in a way, but he will go on to bigger and better things, I'm sure.
Leslie, if we could shift gears just a second, may I ask you your reaction to the Academy Awards and the people who won this year?
I think I was pleased with the awards myself. In the Academy, you don't necessarily get awarded the right man, for pure acting or woman for pure acting doesn't necessarily get the award. But I think, for example, the award to John Wayne is, it's like the beginning of a tradition or of tradition. I felt as an actor that I was connected with something that had a solidity. I guess you start to have a tradition when you begin to have sentiment. And I think that John Wayne got it for sentiment and for all of those marvelous years of enjoyment and satisfaction he's given us all, and I'm glad that he got it.
I would agree. After 40 years, I think he deserved some sort of recognition. Yes, the man over there is giving us the fist.
Yes, indeed.
Leslie, thank you for coming to Dallas and
you.
Fort Worth area, and we wish you the most success in Bracken's world, and especially in your role as Bracken.
Thank you very much. Nice to see you again. What is he?